Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is my 27-week update. So for those of you who have been following along in my journey, I try to do an update every Wednesday, let you know how things are going, how the symptoms are changing, and how the baby is growing. So I hope you enjoy it. So the symptoms this week are pretty short because not a whole lot has changed. Earlier in the week, I did notice that nausea started to make an appearance again, but the good news is it was not consistent, so it's not here to stay. So I did look it up, and it is common that nausea does make a return in the third trimester, especially as you transition, because the baby is now pressing on your digestive system, so it can cause you to get nauseous and then lose your appetite, things like that. So the good news is it's not consistent. The bad news is that I thought we were over that. But besides that, there's only mild swelling, aches and pains here and there. Usually I only get swelling if I have a little too much sodium or if I don't drink enough water, things like that. So I try to monitor my diet, make sure that sodium is low and that I'm intaking as much water as I can throughout the day. Besides that, there has been a lot of growth lately, especially as we're heading into the third trimester next week. So it's definitely getting more challenging finding clothes that fit. So that's been fun, but I've talked to a lot of moms and they're like, it's not worth buying the maternity clothes because what are you going to do with it afterwards? So I'm just going to maybe buy a couple things here and there, but not go too crazy because I'm not going to have anywhere to store it afterwards. So definitely going to have to be kind of creative in that department. And then besides that, it's also warming up here in SoCal. Last weekend we hit some 90-degree temperatures, so definitely noticing the heat difference. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, but I know that's only going to get worse, especially as we head into summer with the 100-degree temps. So definitely going to be running the air conditioning and having some nice big electric bills this summer, but it's all for the greater good so that I can get some sleep and relax. And then, so that's pretty much it for symptoms. Besides that, I'll go ahead and kind of give you guys some updates, how things are going. So I mentioned this a little bit on my Instagram story last week, but I did go to my OB appointment last week and he did drop me. He did refuse me care, and the reason being because I'm going to the birthing center. And he said that, well, he basically tried to scare me into thinking that something's most definitely gonna go wrong. He's like, oh, if something goes wrong, you only have 30 minutes, and I can't help you because it's a liability, that type of thing. So he seemed pretty upset, but the good thing is that kind of reaffirmed that I made the right decision, because he seems kind of old school and doesn't really care about my wishes, so I don't want him delivering my baby. So I'm pretty happy that it dropped me, and as far as an OB, there is one associated with the birthing center that I will be going to see in my third trimester, just to make sure that the baby's head is down and that everything is going accordingly. And then of course, if I do need to get transferred to a hospital, he would be my OB who would take care of me. So it's gonna be fine. I'm happy with my decision. There's no regrets. And he did print me out all of my records as I was leaving. So I do have hard copies of those, which is nice. And so I looked through those. Everything is normal. Baby's test came back normal. My test came back normal, so everything is going well, and there's no risks at the moment, so that's just something to be grateful for. So and then, so besides that, next Monday is my third trimester appointment with the midwives, just to check how things are going. And then the following week, I will have to get my 3-hour glucose test done because I guess if you pass the first one, you do have to have the second one in the 3rd trimester, just to make sure that it didn't come back or that it didn't show up. And like they said, only because of my family history, they want to just be sure that I don't have gestational diabetes. So I did take a full day off work for that, so that way I could go in the morning and then rest, since it is a 3-hour test, so it's going to take up quite a bit of time, as well as probably make me feel pretty sick. So I will be doing that in the coming weeks as well. And I did find a new book that I'm reading, and I'm really enjoying it. It's called Do Chocolate Eaters Really Have Sweeter Babies? So it's kind of a pun, or it's kind of satirical, I should say, but it's all science-based, and it's really digging into the research of like how what we eat and what we do as mothers while we're pregnant affects not only our babies but our grandbabies. So it's really, really interesting because it digs a little deeper into like even epigenetics and things like that, which is interesting to me as a biology major, because you know, I want to know the science behind it. I want to know why things are the way they are. So I'm really enjoying reading that, and I'm going through it pretty quickly, so I've got a couple more science-based books lined up for when I'm done. But I'm really enjoying that approach, because there's a lot of books out there that are just like, I want to say like woo-woo, like, oh, motherhood is this and blah blah blah, and it's nice, but I don't really care to read those. Those are boring to me. So the science-based is really interesting to me. And then as far as the baby, she is now 2 pounds. So she's getting bigger. She's starting to open and close her eyes. Her brain is now active and is monitoring her bodily functions. She now has active brain waves, so she is creating her own sleep cycles and may possibly even be dreaming, which is pretty neat. And then as far as growth, so due to the growth, I have been using vitamin E oil on my skin to try and prevent stretch marks. They say that it really just depends on your genetics, so you know, you could apply all the creams and all the oils you want, and it wouldn't matter if you were genetically predisposed to stretch marks. But they did say the only thing that has proven to have some effect is the vitamin E oil. So I've been using a coconut oil lotion as well as the vitamin E oil daily, just making sure that keeping my skin moisturizing and keeping up on the water, just to try and prevent stretch marks in my stomach. I do still have stretch marks on my side from when I was a kid and was overweight, so those are kind of getting a little bigger, but I'm just trying to prevent the ones on my stomach from appearing. So like I said, it's genetic, so we'll see how that goes. And then as far as workouts, I'm still working out. I'm lifting right now about 4 days a week, and then fitting in cardio around that, as well as my prenatal yoga, and then just modifying exercises as needed. So if it feels wrong, if it pulls too much, if it seems dangerous, I just don't do it. So it's been going really well, and I always feel better on the days that I do work out. So I try not to skip, because then I'll just feel even more tired and run down. So still remaining active, and even though I will not be training in person anymore after the next couple weeks, I'll still be working with my trainer to make sure that I stay fit and healthy up until the birth. And then as far as food and diet, I'm still loosely tracking macros, more so this week because I do have my midwife appointment on Monday, so they want to know like a week's worth of my diet. So I'm kind of doing that, you know, more particularly this week, but try not to obsess over it, because one, I've been doing it so long, I know what's in my food, I weigh all my food, you know, I can eyeball portion sizes and things like that. And it just gets a little overwhelming when you're just constantly obsessing about it. So it's nice to just take a little step back. But I still want to know kind of what I'm eating, just to make sure that I'm staying within a good calorie range and not going too crazy, so that the pounds don't pack on unnecessarily. And then what I'm looking forward to in the next couple of months is getting more baby gear and moving into our new place. We plan on moving into a 2-bedroom in May. So kind of expanding our space a little bit more, downsizing some of the stuff we do have so that we can make room for the new stuff. And then just having a nice, clean, fresh start. So really looking forward to that. We've been in our current apartment for 4 years now, so it is kind of dingy, and we're just ready to get some more space and a fresh start. But that's pretty much it for this week's update. Nothing too exciting this week. Friday, I will have a at-home workout up for you guys, another one. So if you do not have gym access, or if you are expecting and you want to know what kind of exercises are safe to do, that would be a great video for you to watch. So I will definitely have that up for you guys on Friday. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Don't forget to hit subscribe and to follow along in this journey with me. And then please share if you have any friends who are expecting or who are planning to get pregnant or anything like that. And as always, feel free to reach out. But I will talk to you guys in the next video.